In this story, the main protagonists are two nations, France and Spain, locked in a struggle that will shape history. In 1807, Spain, under King Charles IV, signed the Treaty of Fontainebleau, allowing Napoleon's troops to cross Spanish soil to invade Portugal. But Napoleon's ambitions were far greater. French soldiers lingered, occupying Spanish cities, their presence growing from a trickle to a flood. The Spanish court, distracted and divided, failed to act as their so-called allies became occupiers. The French tricolour soon flew over ancient Spanish fortresses, and resentment simmered among the people. Napoleon's true goal was the Iberian Peninsula itself, seeing Spain as a strategic prize and its monarchy as weak. The Spanish people, unlike their rulers, felt the tightening grip of foreign control in their daily lives. Tensions rose as French soldiers became a constant, unwelcome presence. A deep well of anger grew, waiting for a spark to ignite open rebellion. This slow-burning fuse would soon explode into the Peninsular War, a brutal 6-year conflict that would scar Spain forever. Ordinary citizens, not just armies, would fight in the streets for their nation's soul. The stage was set for revolution. Madrid, May 2nd, 1808. The city is tense, its people humiliated by months of French occupation. Napoleon's troops patrol the streets and they prepare to exile the last royal child, Infante Francisco de Paula. As French carriages assemble at the royal palace, a furious crowd of citizens gathers. In an attempt to stop the French, they arm themselves with whatever they can find, quickly turning every street into a battlefield. This was no planned revolt, but a spontaneous uprising of ordinary people pushed too far. The French ordered their troops to fire, but instead of fear, the gunfire, sparks rage, the city erupts. This raw defiance is what Goya would immortalize on his canvas. He was not just an observer, but a witness to the chaos and fury that erupted in Madrid. Francisco Goya, once the court painter, now found himself in a city at war. The events of 1808 transformed Goya from a chronicler of aristocracy to a war reporter with a brush. He saw the hope of rebellion and the horror of French reprisals, searing these memories into his art. Goya's mission became clear: to bear witness, not to glorify, but to reveal the chaos and suffering of war. Years later, he petitioned to paint the heroic actions of Madrid's people, ensuring their sacrifice would not be forgotten. The result? Two of history's most powerful anti-war paintings, born from personal trauma and national tragedy. Goya's paintings would become the most powerful testimony to this dark, transformative chapter in European history. Goya's response was a narrative in two monumental canvases, the 2nd of May and the 3rd of May, 1808. Today we will focus on the 2nd of May, 1808, which captures the chaos of rebellion. This masterpiece is all energy and turmoil, citizens locked in desperate combat with French cavalry. There are no heroes, only the collective fury of a city pushed to its limits. Here Goya abandons classical order for raw immediacy, a riot frozen in time. At the center, Spanish insurgents clash with the Mamelukes, who were a fierce band of Muslim fighters in Napoleon's French Imperial Guard. In particular, a Mameluke is pulled from his horse by a furious Spanish insurgent who continues to stab him, consumed by rage. The vibrant red of the Mameluke's trousers draws the eye, sharply contrasting with the pale horse beneath him, a symbol of innocence now drenched in violence. Another man drives a knife deep into the horse's neck, and a crimson gush of blood erupts. It's a moment of savagery, chaotic and visceral. The horse's terror mirrors the panic of the crowd. Goya's colors, soft morning sky against brutal violence, heighten the sense of a world turned upside down. Every corner teems with life and death, our faces twisted in rage, fear and desperation. Goya paints no idealized heroes, only real people caught in the storm. He refuses to sanitize the scene. This is not glory, but a brutal fight for survival. The painting forces us to confront the irrationality of violence, horror inflicted by both sides. Even the horses, innocent victims, reflect the madness of war. Terrified, wide-eyed, they look out at us, the viewers, as if appealing for understanding or escape. In a sea of irrational fury, only the animals seem to grasp the horror unfolding around them. This is not just a painting of war, it's a painting of war's descent into madness. Goya doesn't glorify the struggle. He confronts us with its terrifying cost. He offers no moral lesson, only a mirror to the brutal heart of conflict. We are left to reflect on the raw, terrifying humanity unleashed that day.